evening. Charlie Tango 1 coming at you here with a video I promised I'd do a couple of times actually of a strip down and a put back together job. But I can only go, this is like part 1 if you like, because I can blend part 2 in later because I've had to get order some bits. And this is for Optimus 8R stove, which comes from, this one came from Ukraine. I've learnt a few different things now. This is the 4th or 5th stove that I have now that I've done up. Well, I will be doing this one up. Now the first thing is, stripping down was quite easy really. It's just a question of unscrewing the tank from this spindle, and I have found sometimes you might have to put this nut here. You might have to put this nut here. I hope you can see that. Yes, this nut here you might have to put in the vise and turn the tank to unscrew it. But it's best to take this bowl off, the reservoir bowl, which is like your primer bowl. If you take that off, there's a little screw underneath it. It makes it easier to get this on in the vise. Now it's the nut that you put in the vise, none of this, just the nut. And you find if you put it right in the end of the vise, you can actually rotate this tank. Now the other thing I found out, these tanks that come from Ukraine and Romania and all them other ones, as we see, they're bright electroless nickel plating, but the tank actually is brass. So there you go, then they're just plated. Their brass is a lot different to ours. So the first thing I done was I took the bell off, the bell housing, flame bell housing, and the flame spreader. I took that off. Then what I done after I got that out of the tank, I moved the tank away a bit now. I then took the little jet off. I'll try and get as close as I can. I took the jet off and I pricked it from inside and outside, but it's easier to actually prick from the outside first and push, to check it, and then go on the inside and push it there. And the best thing to use for that, I've found, is one of these strands off of here, wire brush. Just cut one strand off. They're ideal for cleaning out them jets, which is roughly the same size as the prickers that you get with some of them. Right, so I've taken this tank off. Actually, taken the heat shield off as well. Put that to one side. Then I've taken the tank off, and this I've found, this is the cap, but I've had to order one of these because on inspection you do not really want to tamper with this tap, because it's a pressure release valve in there, and it's got a spring in there, and there is a rubber washer inside, and the pressure comes out of that hole there from inside the tank, and it's supposed to be released from this in here. Now the thing is, this was loose, so I thought, well, I'll have a look, and opened it up. The spring was there, not much tension on it, and on the end of the little shaft there's a rubber cup that sits over a dear little valve inside here to block this hole. And being as it's a spring, when you get the pressure so much, it'll go through there, the spring opens up to release that little the stem of the pressure release valve. But don't tamper with them, leave well alone, because unless you've got the proper tool to adjust the pressure so you can actually measure the pressure that it needs to go for that to release, and it's an expensive tool. So I've been and ordered another one of these. It may be in brass, this is nickel plate, but it may be in brass, but at the end of the day it doesn't really matter as long as it does the job. Now so we've put the tank aside now. We've got that sorted out. We've got this off of the tank. Now I have replaced the wicks, and I'll tell you how I've done that. We'll take this out here first. I've pulled this out, you can see the wire in there. See that little bit of wire in the end there? See a little bit of wire, and this is what I call a Dougal mop. You know them old fashioned Dougal mops? You rinse out in a bucket. Well, I've got 3 strands there. That's all I've used. Okay. And I'll show you what I've done. This is the other strand I took off. And what you need is, where's that bit of wire? There it is. Let's take a bit of that wire. Bear with me. I'll cut a bit of that wire, just like that. There you go. Now, get a little bit of wire. This is coated. It's a green coating. It's something to do with gardening, I think. This, but disregard that. That is nearly 12 inches long. This piece of cord that I took off. What you want to do is get this piece of wire, bend it in half, like so. Then you can get this cord. Got to keep you in shot, haven't I? I keep forgetting that, because I've got it telephotoed in a little bit. Draw it halfway, like so. So now you've got this. Okay. Grab hold of that, and if you want, you can get a pair of pliers, cross it over. You get a pair of pliers, and you can twist it. Then you can get hold of that little piece that you just twisted and carry on twisting the wire. Okay. And all you've got to watch is when you push this in, you don't prick yourself with this on the end of this. But basically, that's what you've got now. You've got that. Okay. And all you do is turn it upside down and place it down that way. Bearing in mind you'll have 3 strands of here, so it'll be a lot thicker, and it'll cover all that valve anyway. And then you just simply push that in there. You'll feel when you get up to the end here, and when you get right up to the end, just pull it back just a tiny little bit, just to make sure that this is not going to block up against that, which is because when the spindle goes in, it's got a seat against, let's put this down, when the spindle goes in here, it has to seat against this piece here inside. So if you've got that too far in, it will obstruct the needle seating, which this has to sit on. So when it goes in, it sits up against that. Let's try and do it so that you can visualise it. It sits in there like that. So if you've got that too far down here, that cannot seat against the stop, right? So that's the reason for that. Right, now we'll put that to one side. Now I've had to order, as I say, I've explained the jet to you. That's no problem. As I say, sometimes these can be a bit bloody tight to get out, but you've got a nice pair of pliers, you can get your pliers between them. Okay. And again, if it's still too tight, then you're going to have to put that nipple right in the end of the vise, yeah, and it will go. So there we are. Let's put that over there. I don't need that no more. Right, now the bowl, primer bowl, dear little screw. Okay, and the bowl, and it comes from underneath. Put the screw underneath, and away you go. That's pretty straightforward, you know. I mean, it's not rocket science, is it? Oh, also, when you get this flame spreader, when you get that, if you look at that edge on, let's get its edge on, you can't see the flame spreader. But if you look at it that way, at that angle, you can see that it's dished. And by having it dished like that, what it does, it gives you a nice better even flame round there. It's flat. It doesn't work the same way. And their brass over there, it's not as good as our brass. It's very, very yellow, and it does not polish very well. So obviously the minerals in it are not the same. Now when I took this out and got rid of this so-called wick, this is the wick they use. I call it a crepe bandage. That's basically what it is. It's crepe bandage. Look, that's all it is. And it was pushed right up there, so it was burning. It was burning the end, so I just pulled it, and that pulled the come out from the wire. So that's rubbish. Oh, honestly, you wouldn't believe it. Look, let me open it up a bit for you so you can see. Look, it's total rubbish. So that's got to go. That's going to get thrown. Now, taking the spindle out of this housing, like so. Now, when I took the jet off of here, this was quite a job to pull out this spindle. I did get it out. But when I took the jet off, I looked down this hole, and you'll notice, if you're familiar with these, that there is no little 4 or 5 teeth to coincide with these teeth. Let's get it right. So when you turn it up or down, so the idea of that is it turns it up to prick out the jet. Well, I opened it up and thought, well, that's missing, that ain't there. But when I thought, well, I'll try and start it up first before I strip it down. Went to start it up, and I couldn't get any pressure coming out of here, so I thought, oh, the jet must be blocked. But looking at it, and when I'd done it, I thought, no, it isn't. So I thought, why isn't it coming out? So there you have it. Anyway, I've had to order that little piece. I mean, they're not cheap, but there is a site, a website, where you can get all those bits from all types of stoves and everything. Now I've ordered the packing stuff as well. This packing, graphite packing. There's a little brass washer there. So you put the packing on, then you put that brass. In fact, I think that brass washer should be on the other side. I've just got this feeling, but there you go. That's how it's come off. So when I take this packing off, I might even use it, because it doesn't look like it's actually had it. As if I can get it off on one, but it does show that this brass washer goes on here, and then the packing goes on, and then this locking nut goes up against that. So that brass washer really is doing nothing. The packing washer, the packing nut, will squash that graphite, and in turn it'll sort of expand it out a bit to go to fit snugly in this here. It fits snugly in there then. So sorry if I always tend to be rabbiting on, I think. I don't know, that's how I feel. But people say no, it's, you know, it's great that you do talk people through it, because some people, you just talk it, but unless you show them, some people they can't grasp it. But when you show them manually, that's it. They're streets ahead, away they go, no problem at all. You know, I'm a bit like that. I might not understand something, but you put the drawing or something on the paper, and that's it. I'll do it. It's no problem at all. But when someone's trying to explain how to do something, it comes across quite difficult sometimes. So having done that, I can't go no further until I get these few bits. But I shall be looking out for another Dougal mop, because that's my last wick. So, you know, and that wick there, you've got, what have we got here? I've got 1, 2, 3. I've got 3.5 inches sticking out here. 3.5 inches sticking out here that's going to be going in the tank. So there's plenty there. And we'll see how we go from there. So, right, I'll leave you with that. That's all I can do. I'll leave you with that lot. And I'll bring you back to part 2 when I get this part through. They're talking about they should be able to get it for me this week. I should get it before the weekend, so bit of luck, I might be able to just be able to sort of, oops a daisy, sorry about that, complete it and do part 2 of putting it all back together. So then that way you can see how it goes. But I'm going to look at the drawing on the website, because to find out what side this brass washer goes. Because as I say, someone told me or showed me it came on this side of the graphite packing, but this one is on this side. So I've got to check that one out just for peace of mind. Aye. So there you have it. Charlie Tango 1 here. Coming at you with part 2.
Watch this space.
The parts have turned up. So no further ado, we just need to start putting it all back together again. Just a quick slurp of my coffee. Now, this little item here, I'm going to take this piece of, I use this because it looks like it's still got quite a bit on it compared to the new one. Here's the new one, and that's the old one. So as you can see, it's not really warm, but I don't know if it's graphite or not. It doesn't look like it, so I'm going to take this nut off, and I'm going to take this brass washer off that on the strip down, what do they call it, when they strip down it all in pieces and then they do it in part sections, it shows that washer going on before this graphite. Well, I don't know if that is graphite or not, actually, to be honest. So if it breaks, at least I've got something to do it with, but I really don't know, so bear with me. Let's have a go at it, shall we? Because I've got a funny feeling. All I done was I just spun it round a bit like that. On, what did I do it on? Oh, a bit of that 00 steel wool, very fine stuff. Just a little tiny dinky bit, and you can feel if there's any roughness there. There's not a groove there either, so that should sit nice and shut that valve off nicely. So now, without further ado, we're going to put this in here. Now I am going to bring that, focus it in tighter, purely so that you can see what I'm doing. Right, now first things we're going to do is we're going to stick this spindle in here, and so. When you feel that it's pushed in, and just start screwing it, because there is a thread there. That's it all the way till it can't go no further. Right, now down in this hole, down in here, bear with me because I'm going to have to keep turning it about because the camera is fully in. You get hold of your little teeth, and you can see that the spindle is to one side here. Let's put it that way. The spindle is running down here. I'm going to try and emphasise that by my little pricker. This is where the spindle is coming down there, like that, just across to one side. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to get hold of this little baby, and we're going to put it with the teeth facing the spindle. And so, like that. Then what we're going to do, some people use a pencil with a rubber on the end. That won't shatter. So, but I'm going to have to use something a little bit different. So I'm just going to put, a dear little bit of pressure. I'll move that over there. A dear little bit of pressure on here with my finger, it shouldn't prick me. And I'm going to turn this anti-clockwise to open the valve. Alright, so I've just got to do a little bit of, I'll put it under me now actually, then I can tell. And you should feel, it should hear a click. Yeah, alright. When's that going to happen then? 1, 2, 3. Now I've turned that down 3 clicks. So what I've done is I've opened this valve. I've gone anti-clockwise and you can feel or you can hear the clicks. Let's do it again to make sure we're right. Right, it's fully done up, so I've now got to undo it to get it out actually. Okay, that's that. Let me, I want to make sure that you can see this okay, so I know what I could use one of these. See if this does it. This is a barbecue stick. No, it's too hard for that. So, another idea, a little cotton bud might help me. Let's try something like that, shall we? Now I'm going to push this I can barely see it. Right, we're going to put it in again, do it up, close the valve all the way. I'm going to put my finger on, my cotton bud on this. Alright, now I'm going to open it. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 clicks I'll put on that. Okay, now shut that up. Let's put the jet back on. Take that off. We're now going to put the jet back on. So that's 2, maybe 3 clicks if you like. But what I do is I put the jet on. I can get it on. Funny little thing. Yeah. Didn't want to go last time actually. It was one of those you had to fight all the way out. So we'll put that on there. Let's keep turning that. Oops. Now, I'm just going to check to make sure that that comes up. Oh, Christ, what's happened with that? That's wrong. Something's wrong there. I think I might have just bent the bloody needle now. Oh, it's all come out, look. So, don't know what's happened there. Why has that done that? Try again. to go down quite low, but as I say, maybe this is why that one didn't have one in there, because it just wasn't working. I don't know. Sorry about this, we're having a little bit of a job here, aren't we? Now, why is that over? That's overriding that, isn't it? It has slightly bent that needle. Straightened it now though. So we're that's what we've got at the moment. Let's get it in focus. There's the needle. Open it up and it comes up. Right, now I'm going to put the jet in again. I don't like that. See, the other thing could be that this jet is not the right jet. Oh, wait a minute, that's gone in easy now. Let's see if we can open this up. Can't. So that means that is... And you know what I'm going to be inclined to do? I'm going to be inclined to take that out because I don't think it's the right one. I really don't. It's gone right down there now, look. Right down. Now, I've got to ask myself, is that 1, 3, 4... See, it may be the fact that because it's got new teeth on it, it's got to be ground in a bit, so that's what I'm going to... It's working a bit better now. So... That's it, that's come out. You've got to screw this, you've got to have that valve all the way in. Excuse me. 1, 2, 3. Now, theoretically speaking, that should go back, but it's not. So, it tells me something's fucking wrong. Something's wrong there. Don't like that. I really don't like that. Bear with me, sorry, I will get there. Right. I think what I'm going to have to do, I'm not going to waste any more time on that. Just make sure that needle's straight. Because it's not the end of the world. I don't think so anyway. So, now, what I'm going to do, make sure that this jet is still empty. Yeah. I'm going to put the jet in here without the pricker. The pricker is only to clean out the jet, that's all it's for. But I've got two prickers in here. The old, for the sphere 1, 2, 3. So it's not a problem. I just use that. I'm going to crack that up just to make sure. That's it. If for some reason you're getting a leak from there, what you need to do, wrong one. What you need to do, easy way out of that, is you can get various makes. This happens to be Loctite. Where are we? There, Loctite. But get the blue, okay? Because the blue is a medium strength, and it what it does is you just put a little bit around the thread, put it in there, and that makes sure that that's sealed. And so if you come to take that jet back out again, you can remove it. Whereas if you get the red Loctite, these little ones, you get those little ones, they're the these are the hard ones, these ones. Making sure you get it. They are very strong, high strength that is. Well, you don't want that, not for on these little stoves, because all you end up do, because it's brass, you'll end up chewing up all the nuts and everything else. So, but I'm going to put a little, I might put a little bit on there, I don't know yet for certain, but oh, let's come away from there now. Look. Oh good, got it. Right, let's put that little washer back on there now. Brass washer, where are we? Come here, come on. That's it. So, I've got that on now. I'm going to put this spindle on. Oh, okay. Has this moved or something? Because you was in. That's it, I'm going to put this spindle back on now. Screw that in. Now with that little packing bit in there, which I think it might be rubber, I'm not sure, but it looks good, so that's all the way in. That means that that's up to the jet. So what I'm now going to do, put the blocking cap on, and that's got a flat edge there for it to go up inside here and push against that washer. So we'll put that in there. I've got a little spanner here. I believe it's 10 mil, but this is an old AF 7/16. But you haven't got to be mega tight with this. It should hold, and that's fairly stiff, but I think I can just take that off a little bit there. Let's try that. That's better. Okay. So you don't have to crack this too far when you want to open it. So all you have to do is when you're opening it, let's get the needle here so you can see, the cap here so you can see, is to open it, to get full bore when it's going, is let's go 1, 2, that should be going full raw on that, because what's happening is because that pricker isn't in there, you'll be able to rotate this a lot further, but you'll find it'll come up to full rev and you won't get no more out of it. Even probably one good turn on that will be enough. So without further ado, we now need to put what do we need to put? We need to put this on. Let's put this on the little primer dish. Okay, so we'll whack that on. There's a little screwdriver. Put it in here somewhere. There we are. 2, 3, 4. Are we in view? No, we're not. No, we're not. There we go. Put this back on. Like that. Cool. I am hanging it out, and I, mate. Yes, he says. Right, now, I'm not going to use that after warning, so I'm going to go on to the sparse one that he's given me. And I'm going to put that on there. Pity, but there you go. That's the, well, I hope it's the same thread, it should be. Oh, it doesn't look like it to me. Not sure what's going on there. No, it's different thread. So there, that just proves it. The old Russian ones and Ukraine ones are different. Right, that's done that. Now we're going to go on to, got the dish on. We're going to put this in here now. I'm going to tally this out because you can't see half of what I'm doing. I'm sure you can't. Right, we're going to put this in here. Now to do that, what I do is I just twist it around and around. Twist it around and around. Put it in there like so. It will go. Some people say I'll get a screwdriver and stuff it down there. You know, they're messing about trying to poke it in here like this. Well, you've only got to keep twisting this. He says. Just keep twisting it. In she goes. Twist it up. Now, what we need is that it's going to go round there, and we need that to go round a little bit more, I think. Oh yes, it's going to be. Now, what you want to achieve is this. This wants to be in line with the tank, like that. So you've got the tank and that, and this has got to be in line with it. So we're just going to crack that round a little bit more, and theoretically Now that is a tapered thread, so it should have locked it. If it doesn't, then what I should do is I'll just put a bit of that Loctite on there, thread lock, the blue one, and that in doing so it will seal it as well, because if I go another revolution there, I'm always fearing that sweated joint there, you will rip it, you know. So that's that bit done. Well, now all that remains is to put the bell on, and as I say, their brass is so different to ours. It's oh, I don't know. It's just even the thread on here on the bell is not all that. You over tighten it, and it just rips the thread. Right. So I've got to put them somewhere safe. I'm very surprised about that actually. I'm going to put the shield on. Right, it's a bit too tight, that one. See, that might be better. Yes, it feels better. Oh, come on. Oh, that's that one. That's that one. That's better. Right, now I think what I'm going to do, he says, is let's see if she fires up, shall we? So without further ado, we'll take this cap off. Put some fuel in here. Check to make sure that valve's shut. It is. Spout somewhere. Got this little tiny thing. It's a bit small, isn't it? But it'll do. Now, I'm not going to put too much in there, because what I do is I think it's a good idea to empty your tank when you finish it, when it's cooled down. And the other important factor is, before you fire it up, if you leave the fuel in there, before you fire it up again on your next outing or something, just crack this nut undone, just to neutralise the pressure from the tank to the burner. Believe it or not, there is a pressure there. As soon as you open that valve, psst, it'll come through. Now some people say, oh, if you've got the pressure in there, you open this valve and the fluid will run through and down into the primer bowl. Well, that's not the correct, really not the correct way to do it. But I'm just going to make sure that's tight. And I'm going to turn this sideways so that this safety valve is not facing me. I'll turn it that way. Because, and even when you're cooking out in the field, when it's in its container, which is here, I'm not going to, always have that pointing away from you, either like that or, you know, sideways, but don't have it, you know, don't have it facing you. Right, let's put that over there. I'm going to now shake this so that we've got a bit of, we should have a bit of get the old wick soaked and everything. Put it down this way so that we know it's going to soak the wick down here. We need to get that in there. So, and if you ever fill, when you fill these up, never fill them up to the top. Just, you know, fill them up to about here, Where are we? Fill them up to about here. That's all you want. You don't want to go any fuller than that, because you've got to remember this is under pressure, and so you've got to have some gap in there for expansion. And that way, what it does, when this tank gets warm, it starts to pressurise the tank, which pushes in return pushes the fuel through here, and the heat vaporises it, and then it comes out the jet. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt, so I understand. Well, I just hope this works now, because if not, it's no problem. I can just I'll rectify it. But that little thing is actually annoying me. I don't know why. Oh, that's sharp. I don't know why that pricker don't work. I really don't. So, I mean, I could replace the spindle. That might solve it. But if it doesn't, I'm still stuck with something that's not working. So, I'm just going to crack this a little bit. That's it. There we go. I'll do it that angle so it's away from me. Alright. Where are we? That's it. See if we can get something going here, shall we? Right, mess. Let me coffee go stone cold, and I look. I do that every time. Right. Now I use Coleman's for the tank. Let's put the lid back on before I knock the bottle flying. This is what I use. Coleman's fuel. That's for a lot of cooking burners, you know. Oh, it's multi-fuel really. Now, get me a syringe. Get a little bit of that's it. Put that on there, put it over there. We're now going to light that. That's it. She's going. Now, I might just turn the light out here so you can actually see this. I don't know if you might not be able to see the flame, so I'll turn the lights out. Right, okay, you can see that. I always prime it twice, because I find that once is not sufficient, really. Some of them might fire up straight away, but to me once is not sufficient to warm up that spindle and everything and start to vaporise the gas, the fuel. So what I do is I let it go out, put some more meths in, and then let it fire up again. Oh, this is like watching paint dry, isn't it? Oh, it keeps flaring like that. But there you go. If it catches that paper, I just thought about that. I'm going to have to whip it off a bit quick, ain't I? I think it's where I'm breathing over it. That's what's making the flame do that. I'm a heavy breather. Right, so let's just hope this. I might have to get another one of these tank caps, because I don't. Yeah, it's going out. Because I don't really like to use that like that. Because here we go. Look. Fire! Fire in the hole! Silly idea really, isn't it? Hey, let's put that over there. Let's bring it back here. Where are we? There? Yeah, I think about there, aren't we? Now, I'm hoping, if you can see, that I'm not going to get leaks. I'm going to put one light on because it's getting a little bit. Let's put this one on, shall we? Now it's gone out, so let's see what happens. Well, it don't look right for a start. I have my feelings about that jet, you know. Yeah, so I can see it. When you turn it down low like that, it's a yellow flame. You can see that the actual flame is over to one side. It's not going directly up and hitting the spreader evenly. That's why we've got flame here and nothing there. So I can soon solve that problem. So anyway, I'm going to turn this off because I'm going to solve that. But there you have it. I mean, that's a silly little thing. Like, if you've already got a jet in there and it's work, then don't worry about it. But when I got this, it said there not working, not in working order. So I thought, well, that's it. Give me something to play with. So you know, there you have it. And another thing, don't leave this on there because it still does get hot. As you can see, someone must have done. Oh, that's heavy there. Someone must have done, because look, it started to melt that. So, and it's hot up, it's up to here already. So, right, without further ado, it don't take much, but I know what it is. The top of the jet is it's not level. That's what's doing that. So that's a simple little thing. Anyway, I hope that has been informative to someone. The wicks they use in the tank is actually pathetic. So see, it's not. Yeah. See, so I'm gonna get that, perfect that, turn it out, and when you turn it off, look through the bell housing at the top of the jet, and you shouldn't get a yellow flame, nothing there. That way you know that that spindle is shutting off the fuel in this tube here. So I've got to let that cool down now, and then I'll have another go later, but it's too hot to handle at the moment. Still, there we go. As I say, let me know. That spindle doesn't leak, so that's fine. I'm going to live with that. So there we go. I'll catch you on the next one. Cheerio.